Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everybody to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Please sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There'll be group pictures at the start and the end of the pep talk, so please show your faces in the video. As a reminder, after the pep talk, please take the online learning evaluation test exercise or ONLETE for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like the one shown here. I have placed the link in the chat box. Another reminder, obtaining 25 OLETE certificates after having a perfect score in the OLETE will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a R.O. Hoson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum. And before we adjourn, thank you. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please show your faces in the video. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk. I completed the core course on October 9, 2021. These are the topics: patient empowerment program, patient management process, rights in patient empowerment, staying healthy and contented. So if anybody wants to have a repeat of this core course, just tell me. From October 23, 2021 onwards, I've been tackling health disorder and health issue courses. So samples of courses are shown here, health disorder. Sample of health issue courses are shown here. This year, particularly May 18, 2024, marks the start of the year 4 of the R.O. Hoson Pep Talk. How long the pep talk will last will depend on our enthusiasm, meaning our means you and me, okay? Our enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance. We are now on our 160 pep talk. My pep talk today is entitled Oncologist, What and When. The empowerment objective is for the lay people to have an essential understanding on oncology's what and when. So what are they? When do we go see them? As part of their health management. The contents of this pep talk will be the following. What are oncologists? What are the different kinds of oncologists? What are the training usually undergone by the different kinds of oncologists? And what are the other types of oncologists? And when does one see an oncologist? Which oncology or oncologist to choose, to see, to consult, and for management of it for a possible or probable cancer. Disclaimer, this R.O. Hoson Pep Talk contains the thoughts, perceptions, opinions, recommendations, or what I call TPORs, culled from my personal experiences as well as from the writings, by reading the writings of other health professionals in the internet. Let's start with the first topic. What are oncologists? Oncologists will be operationally defined here as medical doctors, meaning physicians, who specialize in the diagnosis and treatment and management of patients with cancer. I emphasize these are doctors for this particular lecture purpose because there are other people who are not doctors who claim themselves to be cancer specialists. Okay, but for today, we will operationally define oncologists as physicians who specialize in the diagnosis, kung anong meron, kung talagang may cancer, or ano yung gamutan, treatment, and then management. When you say manage, the difference between treatment and management, yung treatment is direct gamutan ng isang cancer sakit. Management, yung holistic, yung maraming comprehensive gamutan. No? So the above definition refers to clinician oncologist. Okay. So again, as I said, we will operationally define oncologists as medical doctors, but there are several types of medical doctors who call themselves oncologists. Okay. So when I say oncologist, we are referring to the clinician. When you say clinician, these are doctors with direct contact and responsibility for patients, rather than one involved in the laboratory or research setting. Yung mga researcher on cancer, they can call themselves oncologists also. Okay. So, but for this particular definition, we're referring to the clinician oncologist, meaning the doctor who treats patient directly. No? Okay. I mentioned this earlier, treatment versus management. So when you say treatment, it's the specific intervention, specific way of gamutan. Then management, this will include the comprehensive one, yung mga iba pa, aside from the direct management, may mga, let's say, psychosocial management, financial management, pain management, and others, okay? So that's the difference between the two words, treatment and management, okay? So offhand, I'd like to say that when oncologists use, the best oncologists will be who will not only treat, but will also do the comprehensive management. Oncologists, as I said, will be operationally defined here as medical doctors who specialize in the diagnosis and treatment and management of patients with cancer. So in layman's term, oncologists are called cancer specialists. So but we have to qualify. When you say cancer specialist, maraming klase yan. No? May mga doctor, may mga non-doctors, no? May mga doctors who are doing research na sa laboratory lang sila, no? Example, mga pathologists they can call themselves as cancer specialists when they focus their training on studying mga histopath ng mga cancer cases, no? Then you have the clinician oncologist. What are the different kinds of oncologists? So the three basic kinds of oncologists based on the conventional cancer treatment modalities, okay? Drugs, these are the conventional, when you say conventional, the usual, no? Hindi kasama yung mga alternative medicine, no? So the drugs, okay? Then surgery, and then radiation. So these are the conventional cancer treatments. So based on this, you can have three kinds of oncologists: medical oncologist, surgical oncologist, and radiation oncologist. So wala yung, pag sinabi mo oncologist, it's not referring to one specific type of doctor lang. No? You have to specify whether that cancer specialist is medical oncologist, whether that cancer specialist is surgical oncologist, or radiation oncologist. So iba-iba. Medical oncologists. These are the cancer specialists who treat patients with cancers with drugs, yung mga gamot, okay? Not using non-surgical and non-radiation means, okay? So they just treat patients with drugs. So not using, palitan lang natin ito, baka mali. Not using surgical and radiation means. Okay? Tanggalin natin itong not. Okay? So they treat cancer with drugs such as chemotherapy, hormonal therapy, you may relying mainly on mga gamot, immunotherapy, gamot, it's either oral or parenteral or IV, intravenous, and other targeted treatments. So these are the so-called medical oncologists. Basta gamot lang ang ginagamit nila, okay? That's how they were trained on. Then di sila gumagamit ng surgical and also radiation. Surgical oncologists naman are cancer specialists who treat patients with cancers using surgical means or operations. Okay? So, yung mga nag-opera ng cancer, no? Palagi nag-opera, then we call them surgical oncologists. Radiation oncologists are cancer specialists who treat patients with cancers using radiation. Radiation. So, what are the training usually undergone by the various oncologists? For the medical oncologists, usually there's a residency in internal medicine, usually 3 years. This is after being certified as the general practitioner. No? The first exam is para to be a general practitioner. And after the getting the physician license, they go into residency program specializing in internal medicine. No? Okay. So for 3 years, and then after 3 years, they go into a further training, which we call fellowship. No? Usually 2 years, additional 2 years. So nakafocus na sila sa mga use of drugs in the treatment of cancer, medical oncology. So total of 3 and 5 years outside on top of the usual 9 years of being a doctor. Now, general surgery surgical oncologists usually may residency in general surgery for 5 years and then a fellowship in surgical oncologists, usually 2 years. Kumisan may 1 year, pero ngayon most of the time it's 2 years already. Now, there are other types of surgical oncologists to be explained later. Here I emphasize the phrase general surgery surgical oncologist. Mamaya i-explain ko kasi maraming klaseng surgeon who become oncologists. So iba-iba. So may mga general surgeon oncologists, may mga orthopedic surgical oncologists, etc., etc. I'll explain that later on. Radiation oncologists, ano yung training nila? Usually residency in radiology, 3 years, and then a fellowship in radiation oncology for 1 year. No? So mas maikli. No? But there are now straight training program in radiation oncology for 4 years. Well, hindi na sila dadaan sa radiology, but diretso na sila sa radiation oncologies. So 4 years. No? So what are the other types of oncologists aside from the 3 basic one? So oncologists who specialize in the use of drugs, hindi siya gumagamit ng surgical, hindi siya gumagamit ng radiation to treat cancers. So here are some of the different kinds. When you say medical oncologist, this usually referred to the doctors who specializes in cancer, in giving medications for adults. So adults yon. Okay. So nowadays there are the so-called pediatric oncologists, yung mga gumagamot ng mga bata na may cancer. Okay, so pediatric oncologists. And then using drugs also, there's another special type of oncologist, yung mga tinatawag na hematologic oncologists. Yung mga hematology, nagfo-focus sila sa treatment of blood cancers, we call them hematologic oncologists. So basically there are 3 types of oncologists who use the drugs in the treatment of cancer. Medical oncologists, adult, pediatric oncologists, mga pediatric patients, mga bata, hematologic oncologists, blood cancers. So oncologists who specialize in using surgery naman to treat cancer, You have these surgical oncologists. Usually these are the general surgeons. Okay? And then you have the breast surgical oncologist, head and neck surgical oncologist, gynecologic oncologist, orthopedic oncologist. So by the name used here, when they say orthopedic oncologist, so these are the orthopedic surgeons who specialize in the treatment of cancer. So they get the title of orthopedic oncologist. Yung mga gynae, OBGYN, alam na yun, may OBGYN, pero may mga OBGYN nag-specialize lang sa gynae cancers, like uterine cancers, no, ovarian cancers. They call themselves gynecologic oncologists. Now, oncologists who specialize using radiation to treat cancers. So basically, there are two, radiation oncologists and then nuclear medicine oncologists. So nuclear medicine, they use radioisotopes, no? Yung radiation oncologists, they use the ordinary external radiation therapy. Sometimes they use the brachytherapy. Now, oncologists who specialize in using alternative medicine to treat cancer, they can claim that they are called alternative medicine oncologists or naturopathic oncologists. So may mga doctor, this could be MD also, physicians who specialize in the use of alternative medicine in treating patients with cancer. So they call themselves alternative medicine oncologists. And then the other one is the naturopathic, yung using yung mga use of nature, walang gamot, walang ano, okay? So a question is, when does one see an oncologist? One should see an oncologist or a cancer specialist if one has symptoms of a possible or probable cancer being present in his or her body. So for you to be able to do that, okay, if you have symptoms of possible cancer, you should know the alert signals for cancers. So on this side of the slide, you have the common alerts or warning symptoms of cancer. Change in the bowel habit or bladder habit. Bladder is the yung pag-iihi, urinary bladder habits. A sore that does not heal, meaning a wound that does not heal. Unusual bleeding or discharge from anywhere. Unusual bleeding from the vagina. Unusual bleeding from the rectum. Discharge also from the vagina and from the other parts of the body which have openings. And then thickening or lump in the breast or elsewhere, yung mga bukol-bukol. Indigestions or difficulty in swallowing. These are alert signs for either esophageal cancer, stomach cancer, or even difficulty in swallowing sa may oral cavity. Then obvious change in the wart or mole. Baka melanoma na siya, naging cancer yung mole. And then nagging cough or hoarseness, baka meron siyang cancer of the larynx, may cancer siya of the lungs, etc. So these are the more common alert symptoms of cancers, but there are other warning symptoms. Okay? Which oncologist to choose to see, to consult, and for management for a possible or probable cancer. So once cancer is suspected, there are at least three options in which physicians to first consult. So sinong unang pupuntahan? No? If one is not sure on the organ of involvement of the possible cancer, pag di po tayo sigurado, hindi nyo sigurado, okay, at your level as a lay person, okay, one can consult a family physician first or when I say family physician, yung mga kaibigan ninyo, okay? It doesn't have to be a general practitioner, okay? As mentioned here, mamaya, okay? So you can consult a family physician first, yung mga kaibigan ninyo, kamag-anak ninyo, okay? Which ideally one must always have para tulungan kayong mag-decide, okay? So this is, family physician will be regardless of the specialization. Okay, whether general practitioner or any medical specialty, even outside the non-oncologist. Kahit na hindi sila cancer specialist, pwede silang i-consult. So the best scenario is, of course, is that the family physician is an oncologist. Any type will do. So kung may kamag-anak kayo na cancer specialist, let's say surgeon, surgical oncologist, medical oncologist, or radiation oncologist, mas mabuti. No? Okay, that is best scenario. Now, why family physician first? Okay. One, because he or she knows you already, kilala ka na. She or she is the one whom you can trust, can easily talk to. She will help you further in the diagnosis, more definite than yours, at least mas at a higher level. Although he or she might not know everything, baka hindi naman siya specialist. He or she will advise you on what to do next, and he or she might know an oncologist who best fit your need to refer to if indicated. Baka may kilala siyang mga kaibigan niya, mga kaklase niya na oncologist, pwede niya kayong i-refer based on what you have. No? So malalaman niya kung baka meron kang cancer of the breast, cancer of the lungs, no? So alam niya kung saan ka papupunta, no? If one is sure of on the organ of involvement of the possible cancer, there are two options. Number one, choose or look for a physician specializing in the management of all diseases of the identified organ, or a generalist specialist. Number two, choose or look for a physician specializing in the management of the cancer in this identified organ, which I call specific organ oncologists. So examples here. Examples of specific organ oncologists. If you have uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, so pwede kayong dumiretso dito sa gynae oncologist. If you are suspecting breast cancer, diretso kayo sa breast oncologist. No, yan sinasabi kong specific organ oncologist. Now, kung hindi nyo alam o wala kayong kilala nito, gynecologic oncologist, breast oncologist, you can go to a generalist specialist. So if you have problem with the uterus pero wala kayong kilala, possible cancer, pero wala kayong kilalang gynecologic oncologist, you can go to an OB/GYN. Okay? Who treats also ovarian cancer. No? Okay. Kung kaya niya, pwede niyang gawin. Kung hindi, baka i-refer ka rin sa gynae oncologist. At least, you are consulting someone who will advise you properly. No? Another example of a generalist specialist oncologist will be general surgeons. The mga general surgeons can also treat breast cancer, can also do yung mga liver cancer, colon cancer, etc. No? So you can go to a general surgeon first before going to a breast oncologist, to a colorectal surgical oncologist, go to a liver specialist. Okay? So ito yung no? So two options, either you go to the specific organ oncologist or to a generalist oncologist, depending on sinong kilala ninyo, kung may kakilala kayo. No? So, but my advice is to go to a specific organ oncologist if you can identify one in your community. If not, you can start with a generalist oncologist. The reason for that, for more efficient, comprehensive, and specialized management. Okay? If you go to a specific organ oncologist, mas alam na niya lahat yung mga gagawin, no? Mas may alam siya compared to a generalist oncologist. This is in general. Pero may mga exception to the rule, may mga generalist specialist na kayang-kaya rin niya. No? Okay. Depending on his years of experience. No? Okay. Now, the third scenario is if one is sure on the organ of involvement of the possible cancer, and there are 3 oncologists who are known to treat specific cancer. Example, breast cancer. Okay. So pwedeng ang gumagamot ng breast cancer, pwedeng medical oncologist, surgical oncologist, and radiation oncologists, because these are the usual treatment that can be given to patients with breast cancer. The question is to whom to go first. Yan ang usually tinatanong ng mga lay people, no? Up to now, walang naguguluhan kayo kung hindi alam kung saan pupunta, no? So, to whom to go first? So, one can choose anyone if one is not sure of the best priority and best sequence of the treatment, but know the priority for the cost-effective management. Okay. So, example dito. First oncologist to consult is breast surgical oncologist or general surgeon surgical oncologist, primarily because of the need to make a definitive diagnosis, usually through a biopsy and usually done by a surgeon. So you don't go first to the medical oncologist or radiation oncologist. You can go direct to the breast surgical oncologist or general surgeon oncologist, because ang gagawin niya muna, ang priority rito is to establish the diagnosis. No? Usually, ito yung ginagawa ng surgical oncologist, general surgeon. Kasi kung pupunta kayo sa medical, baka ganun din, i-refer ka rin sa surgical. So, pwede niyong puntahan muna yung surgical oncologist para ma-biopsy, magamot, ma-diagnose. Okay? Okay. Another example for gynae cancer. The first oncologist to consult is a gynecologic oncologist, primarily because there's a need to make a definitive diagnosis by the gynecologic oncologist, usually through a biopsy procedure and other operative procedure. So you don't have to go to a medical oncologist who might give you some chemotherapy, or radiation oncologist, okay, who also treat yung mga cancer, uterine cancer with radiation. Ang unang pupuntahan nyo, as much as possible, go to a gynecologic oncologist if you are sure involve yung, let's say, ovary mo, involve yung uterus mo, okay, or vagina, etc., etc., para more efficient, okay? So here is a guide on which oncologist to consult first. When you have blood cancer in adult, you consult an adult hematologic oncologist. Of course, you don't go see a pediatric oncologist. Pero kung may pedya kang pasyente na may blood cancer, ang pupuntahan is pediatric hematologic oncologist. Solid cancers in adults, yung mga bukol na hindi siya blood cancer, no? So, that's why we call it solid. Okay. Usually surgical oncologist first, and then medical oncologist, and then radiation oncologist. Yan ang general rule. Ha? Okay. So this is just a guide. May mga kaso, let's say, ibang sakit na ang gumagamot talaga radiation oncologist. Pero usually, as I said, mauuna yung surgical oncologist because they have to establish the diagnosis through a biopsy. No? Okay. At usually, yung mga surgeon oncologists ang gumagawa ng biopsy. No? Usually, may exception to the rule. Now, for gynecologic cancer, usually, first, oncologist consult gynae oncologist, orthopedic cancer, bone cancer, orthopedic oncologist, pediatric solid cancer, hindi pediatric hema, blood cancer. Pediatric solid cancer, example, cancer sa atay, cancer sa kidney, sa pedya, okay? Or cancer sa bituka, sa pedya, you see a pediatric surgical oncologist. Now, for patients with breast cancer, ang first pupuntahan ninyo is a breast surgical oncologist. Head and neck cancers, ang unang pupuntahan, head and neck oncologist. Colorectal cancer, if you can identify one, look for a colorectal surgical oncologist. Hepatobiliary and pancreatic cancer, there are a lot of oncologists known as hepatobiliary and pancreatic cancer surgical oncologists nowadays. Then for uro, yung mga kidney, bladder, and ureter cancers, you look for a urologic surgical oncologist. Brain cancer sa utak, you look for a neurosurgical oncologist. And then for thoracic cancers, you look for a thoracic surgical oncologist. When cancer treatment involves several oncologists, no, let's say tatlo na medical, surgical, and radiation oncologists, the primary orchestrator or coordinator will be determined kung sino mag-orchestrate kasi tatlo sila, no? So it will be determined by the primary cancer treatment modality to be used for treatment. But the various kinds of oncologists involved they usually work as a team. Pero dapat merong mag-orchestrate, no? Para hindi magulo. Okay? Example, nasopharyngeal cancers can be treated by a surgeon who will do the biopsy and then radiation, then also can be treated with chemotherapy. So mag-orchestrate nito, dapat head and neck surgical oncologist. After that, kung i-refer sa for chemo, then i-refer sa medical onco, kung kailangan magpa-radio, radiation oncologist. Sa breast cancer, ganun din. May tatlong nag-orchestrate dyan, gumagamit yan, medical, surgical, and radiation. So, ang mag-orchestrate nito will be the breast surgical oncologist. Okay? So, kung sasabihin ng breast surgical oncologist, puntahan mo si medical oncology for your possible chemo, and then radiation oncologist for your radiation. So choosing a cancer doctor. Ito yung recommendation. I got this from the cancer organization. During your cancer treatment, you may see more than one kind of cancer doctor. But your cancer and treatment type will determine who your main cancer doctor will be. So yan sinasabi ko. Your cancer and the treatment type, okay, will be determined who will be your main cancer doctor, who will orchestrate. Okay, who will coordinate everything. Carefully choosing the doctor you need will help you navigate the treatment. Hindi madaling gamutan ng cancer, maraming steps involved, maraming doctors involved, kaya dapat merong nagko-coordinate. No? So your relationship with this person will probably last through treatment into long-term follow-up care. Before you start looking for a doctor, think about the qualities you want your doctor to have. A few ideas are listed here, but there may be others that you want to add. Okay? Ito yung mga recommendations itong journal nito. Okay? Choose a doctor who has experience treating your type of cancer. You want someone who is familiar with and uses the latest standards, guidelines, and research. So pipili kayo doctors who have a lot of experience in your type of cancer. You will need a doctor who is part of a health insurance plan, often called preferred provider, or accepts your health insurance. Kung meron kayong insurance, maghahanap kayo ng mga doktor na who are accredited with this insurance plan para hindi kayo masyadong gumastos. No? Pick a doctor who practices or has privileges at a cancer center or hospital that you are willing to use. So, importante yun sa expenses ninyo. No? So, kung pupunta kayo sa isang hospital, pero yung doktor ninyo wala ng privilege, no? Hindi siya pwede doon. No? Kung meron siyang privilege doon, mas madali na. Okay? So doctors can only send patients to cancer centers or hospitals where they have admitting privileges. So tatanungin niyo, doctor, affiliated kayo ba with this hospital? Pwede ba tayo magkumamot, magpa-opera, gano'n. No? Choose a doctor you feel comfortable with. Languages spoken, sex, kung saan gusto nilang babae, gustong babae yung surgical oncologist, lalaki, gusto nilang lalaki surgical oncologist, etc. And education may be important to you. You may also have strong feelings about the personality and how they should communicate with you, kung ka-vibes ninyo, okay? Some people want their doctors to have a business-like manner, iba-iba yung mindset ng mga ibang pasyente, okay? While others value a doctor who can help with their emotional health as well as their medical needs. Yan tinatawag na patient-centered management care doctors, okay? Who are compassionate. So, pipili ho kayo. It's really up to you. No? Okay. So, some questions that you might want to ask when you try to choose a cancer doctor. What is their specialty? Do they have a subspecialty? Are they board certified? How many patients with any type of cancer have they treated before? Because you want to know how experienced they are. So my personal advice, choose an oncologist who will treat your cancers as best as he or she can, and who is patient-centered and compassionate, and who will provide comprehensive and holistic management. So when I say holistic comprehensive management, kasama yung psychological and psychosocial support. I like to emphasize this one sa last statement dito. Don't go for an oncologist who will treat your cancer only and then leave you alone after. So, bahala ka na pumunta sa susunod, sa ibang doktor, tapos na tayo. No? Importante, let's say kung surgeon, breast surgeon mag-offer sa'yo, dapat may follow-up, no? May continuity. No? So, kahit na ni-refer ka sa medical oncologist, babalik ka pa rin dun sa surgical oncologist, siya mag-orchestrate. No? Tutulungan ka. No? Okay. So, don't go for an oncologist who will treat your cancer only and then hindi kasama yung psychological, psychosocial support, bahala ka na after. No? Okay. So that's the last slide for the main topic, for the main lecture. Summary and takeaway, I have explained these topics. What are oncologies? What are the different kinds, basic kinds? What are the training? What are the other types of oncologies aside from the basic ones? When does one see an oncologist? Which oncologist to see or to choose to see? Paano kayo pipili, no? To consult and for management. When you say manage, yung comprehensive management, no? Okay, for possible or probable cancer. Okay. Takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information on oncology's what and when. So what means who they are and when to consult, when kung sinong pipiliin. Okay. Knowledge is power. It gives power. Use the 4 Ks of patient empowerment, kaalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, and kapangyarihan to gain greater control in the management and make better control over decisions and make better decisions on oncologies, what and when as part of your health management. So this ends my pep talk today. Oncologies, what and when. I hope I have empowered you on this particular topic. Oncologies, what and when as part of your health management. Well, before we go to the question and answer portion, reminder, please take the OLETE for Mastery of Learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like this. I have placed the link in the chat box. 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one to a free voucher for RO Hoson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. And then feedback, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. So let's now have a group picture taking before we start the QA and interactions. Please turn on your video now, show your beautiful faces. Okay, ready? Baby, nawala ka, baby. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the floor is now open for questions, comments, ano pa? Sharing of experiences, consultations, etc., etc.
I have a question.
Sino to?
Opo, may an po.
May Ann. Nasaan? Nasaan ka? Okay, Mary Ann. Okay. Kasi wala kayong mukha. Okay. Okay, Mary Ann, sige.
I don't, just want to ask, surgical oncologist are you? Because I was thinking,
Naputol.
Surgical.
Ha?
Surgery.
what kind of po are you na,
Napuputol. Napuputol. Napuputol ba sa inyo? Abet?
Uh, kind of surgical you are kasi halos lahat alam mo raw.
exactly.
Thank you for the compliment. What type of surgical oncologist am I? No? Just give you a history, no? In way before, no? Very ang unang lumabas kasi yung specialty ng surgical oncologist, usually ang unang nag-specialize doon, these are general surgeon. General surgeon kasi malawak ang alam nila no? They know head and neck, they know thyroid, they know breast, gastrointestinal, abdomen, lahat-lahat, no? Okay. Kaya tinawag silang general surgeon, di ba? General surgeon, halos lahat ginagamot nila. Parang GP, no? Pero ito, when you say general surgeon, lahat ng klaseng na may kailangan ng operasyon, kaya nila. May training sila, no? Okay. And then after that, dumating na yung specialization ng yung specialty ng surgical oncology, no? Okay. So, kaya ang unang pumasok doon, yung mga general surgeon, no? Nag-specialize sa surgical oncology. Kaya malawak din ang alam nila, no? Okay. So, pero nag-evolve yan. Nowadays, sabi ng mga, kasi sasabi ng urologist, kami rin nagtitreat kami ng cancer Di ba? So, kaya you can also call us urologic oncologist, di ba? Ganon din sa mga orthopedic, no? Kasi dati-dati, kung wala pa yung orthopedic oncologist, orthopedic surgeon lang, no? Yung general surgeon, may training din sa orthopedics, no? May mga ganon, may mga institutions na may training, no? In some centers may training, in others wala na. Okay. So ganun din sa pediatric surgical oncology, no? Sasabihin nila, ay kami nagtitreat ng pediatric bata na may cancer, kami na lang gagawa, no? Kaya naging uso na yung pediatric surgical oncologist. Kaya yung mga general surgeon, medyo nababawasan na yung mga ano nila, yung mga teritoryo nila na pwede nilang gawin, no? Okay. Sa akin, although I know the principles of all types of hindi naman lahat, there's a limit to my knowledge, no? I focus now on mga breast cancer and also head and neck cancer, soft tissue, okay, and some other things, no? Okay. So, yon. Did I answer your questions?
Yes po, Doc. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any more? Any comment? Wala?
Doc, sorry pa. Another question. Parang I heard na you also did hysterectomy. Am I correct?
Dati, I can do hysterectomy. May training may training kami in hysterectomy. Kasi yung training ko is, basic training ko is general surgery. No?
Okay.
During our time, 1976 to 1981, no? Halos lahat pwede naming pag-aralan at paggawin sa PGH, no? Okay. Pero may dumating isang panahon na lumakas na yung specialty ng gynae, no, hysterectomy, no. Sila lang gumagawa, ayaw na parang nalilimit na yung ano, yung sa mga those who come after me, no? Parang yung anak ko, no? Si Lance, no? Hindi, I don't think he knows how to do hysterectomy, no? Kahit na general surgeon siya, no? Pero during my time, nakakagawa kami, meron kaming training on that, no? Okay. Pero nowadays, I don't do it anymore, no? But in some hospitals, even in sa private hospitals, may mga general surgeons who are still doing hysterectomy, no? Kaya kuminsan nag-aaway yung mga gynae saka general surgeon. Sabihin nila, amin yan ah. Amin yan na bakit yung ginagawa? Ganon. Okay? Okay? Did I answer your question, Mayan?
Yes po, Doc. Thank you so much again.
Doctor, what is the difference between the surgical oncologist and the medical oncologist?
Ayun nga, sinabi ko nga, medical oncologists are those who give chemotherapy. Di ba? Yun lang. Surgical oncologists, strictly speaking, hanggang operasyon lang sila. Pero may mga yung mga training namin dati, no? Meron kaming training in giving chemo also, no? Kaya kuminsan yung surgical oncologist nagki-chemo rin after surgery, no? Okay. Just like in PJ sa breast, no? Yung sa surgery, they do the operation, surgical oncologists after the operation, they're the ones giving the chemotherapy. Okay, hindi yung pwede nilang i-refer sa medical onco for chemo, pero since may training sila rin gumagawa ng chemo, no? So may overlap, no? So doon sa gynae oncologist ganun din. Gynae oncologist versus medical oncologist, di ba? So medical oncologist pwede mag-chemo sa mga pasyente na may ovarian cancer, may ganon, di ba? Pero since gynae oncologist may training din sa chemotherapy, sila rin gumagawa, no? Okay. Okay. So nakuha mo?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
When is a surgical oncologist refer patient to a medical oncologist?
Ano? Again.
When a surgical oncologist refer patients to a medical oncologist?
Kung number one, kung wala siyang training on giving yung pasyente after an operation, kailangan magpa-chemo or even before the operation, di ba? Kailangan magpa-chemo. So, i-refer niya sa medical oncologist. Na? Or, for what reason? Number one, baka ayaw niya mag-chemo, ayaw na niya kasi very hectic, very taxing, or wala siyang training. Na? Wala siyang training in giving chemotherapy. No? Kaya pinapasa na nire-refer sa medical onco. No? Okay. Okay. Nakuha mo?
Yes. Meron bang halimbawa incident na a surgical oncologist, meron bang certain degree wherein hanggang dun lang yung pwedeng gawin ng surgical oncologist and then i-refer na niya sa isang medical oncologist?
Yeah, kung yung gamutan ng cancer ng isang pasyente na the best treatment will be medical chemotherapy, gamutan, hindi operasyon na. So i-refer na niya sa medical onco. No? Okay. Kung ang gamutan is talagang surgery, hindi niya i-refer sa medical onco, opera niya. Okay. Ano, nalilito ka?
Hindi. Di ba before we do we do chemotherapy.
Oo.
And then
breast cancer.
yeah, may certain degree ba, halimbawa na hindi na natin ito ititreat, kailangan sa medical oncologist na. Meron bang ganon?
Meron.
Meron.
Yes, sabi ko na in my experience naman, di ba, pag during that time, earlier day, ako nagkikimo, di ba? Okay, so I can, after the operation, I give the chemo, no? But after a while, medyo, you can say napapagod na ako, no?
So,
Kaya pinapasa ka na sa medical onco, no? So kasi may mga maraming bagong gamutan na ngayon di ba?
ayan.
So, na hindi ko na track. So I just give it to the medical onco, no? Okay. Okay. Any more?
Ako, Doc, may question.
Sure.
When, in the case of children, what age do you really stop going to a pediatrician and go to an adult doctor? Because I had my sister-in-law's niece, she developed leukemia when she was 17 already. So, pedia pa rin ba? Or hematological? Or adult?
Okay. Okay. How do you answer that? Okay. Balik, okay. Two things. Going back to the history, kasi nag-evolve ang medicine, no? Going back to the history of medicine, ang dating age, yung kinakategorize na pedia will be 14 years old dati, no? During our time, 1981, ganun, no? Okay. Then after that, mga medyo, hindi ko alam kung kailan, sinabi ng WHO, 18, basta pag below 18, pedia. Above 18, above 18, adult na. Kaya in some hospitals, kasi yung sa hospitals kasi lalo na yung mga, they just call it may turfing problem, di ba? Turfing. Sabi na. So sa amin ito, hindi dapat sa inyo. Sa amin ito lahat, ito mga di ba? So if they, kung nag-agree sila sa kung ang practice nila 14 dati, so yung mga nung tinaas sa 18, no? So sasabihin ng adult na hima, no? So sa amin pa rin 'yan, no? Kasi dati ginagamot namin 'yan no? Pero nung lumabas yung ruling na 18 and above, it all depends on the hospital policy now, no? Kung susundin nila yung 18 or 14, no? Pero nowadays, madalas sinusunod na yung 18, no? Nowadays, no? So pag 18 and above, no, usually adult, no? Or 18 and below, usually pedia, no? Okay. Pero sa private practice, kung 1 year lang ang difference, 17, 18, no? Baka sabihin ng adult, no? Pwede ko nang gamutin 'yan, no? Ganon. Okay? So we have to you have to know the history, no? Yung mga ganon, mga turfing, mga cut off, no? Parang sa ganon din sa pediatric surgeon and adult surgeon, di ba? So, dati 14, ngayon naging 18, no? So, yung mga may appendicitis na 17 years old, no? So, kung sa hospital policy, ibibigay sa pediatric surgeon, no? Kung 18 and above, sa adult surgeon. Pero yung adult surgeon, in the past, kayang-kaya nilang gawin yung 14 years old na may appendicitis. Ganon. Okay. So, iba-iba, no? So, kayo as patient naman, pasyente, you just look at the guidelines that I gave you, someone who you can trust kung anong track records niya. Okay? Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other concerns?
Doc, Susan.
Susan, yeah, Susan.
Yeah. Of course, you know my background before my breast cancer. I used to have thyroid cancer, but that was, sabi ko nga, that was in the late 90s. Excuse me. Since you treated me for breast cancer, is it also possible that I just ask you kung after all these years, no, kung kumusta na yung aking thyroid cancer, which I'm sure in remission na matagal na.
You're asking me your status. So
Yeah,
consultant. Okay. So, yung kung so many years na, you're in remission for a long time. Ilang years na?
Tiga, 1998 kasi ako na-opera eh. And well, ilang years na ba hanggang ngayon? Well, more than 20 years. So, okay na.
24.
Oo, okay na.
26 years.
26. Oh. Kasi I used to go to endocrinologist ba yun? Oo, di ba? Eh medyo hindi ko na binalikan dahil talagang sobrang busy. Tigarian din sa inyo sa Manila doctors eh. Wala, hindi na ako nagpapatingin. Basta may endocrinologist ako ngayon sa Makati Life. Ano naman, tinitignan lang yung, ano ba yun? TSH ba yun? Yung ganon, yung pinapa-examine lang. And then kung mataga, kung ano, ina-adjust na lang yung dosage ng medicine.
Okay.
So, back to you. I've known you as a breast cancer doctor, no? But do you also treat katulad nung yung mga meron thyroid
Oo nga.
cancer?
Ayun yung sinabi ko kay Mayan, no? Okay. I'm a surgical oncologist. Initially, I do all kinds of cancers, no? Okay. But nililimit ka na, no? Okay. So, breast, thyroid, kasama pa rin dyan. Okay.
Okay.
Cancer, head and neck cancer. Yun, no? So, yung mga uterine cancer, hindi ko na ginagawa yon, di ba? Okay. Yung ibang kidney cancer, hindi ko na rin ginagawa yon, no? Sa uro na lang binibigay ko, no? Okay. Now, in answer to your question, direct questions, meron kang thyroid, meron kang breast cancer, no? So I can manage you if you're asking me, no? Okay. I can manage you, no? Okay.
Okay.
Breast cancer mo, ako nagmamanage sa iyo, remember?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
not seeing medical onco, di ba? Baka pag pumunta ka sa medical onco, baka iba ang sasabihin sa iyo, baka papakimo ka, ganun, di ba? Okay? Then I'm the one orchestrating, di ba? Ako ang treating you, ako ang magpa-follow up sa iyo, yan tinatawag na management, comprehensive, up to the end. Unlike kasi, lot of breast surgeons, when they operate, no, papasa ka na sa iba, no? Medical onco. Hindi. Okay? So I'll be your main doctor for the rest of your life, for the rest of my life, no? Okay? Kung lang aalis. Kung wala ako, andyan yung anak ko, no?
Okay. That's good.
Thyroid naman, I can treat cancer, no? Sa ngayon, ang nagtitreat ng thyroid cancer, pwedeng, okay, let me enumerate. Merong general surgeon like me. I'm also a head and neck surgeon, no? Then ENT, no? Nagta-thyroid din sila, no? And then the endo, nagta-thyroid. Then you have the nuclear medicine, nagbibigay ng RAI sa thyroid cancer, so 4. Okay? So sinong dapat mag-orchestrate dito sa iyo? Yan ang tanong, di ba?
Yeah.
Definitely not the nuclear medicine kasi pang additional ano lang yan. Kaya nare-refer lang namin sa nuclear medicine kasi wala kami yung gamot, no? Yung RAI. Sila lang humawak noon. Parang parang yung tawag doon, sa breast, sa what do you call that? Nawala. Anyway, we don't, yung coordinator mo dito sa thyroid mo, not be the nuclear medicine kasi pandagdag lang sila, no? Okay? Kasi kung meron kaming machine for radiation therapy, no? Pwede namin gawin yon, no? Pero we were not trained on that, no? Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung tanong ni Abet, no? So, after surgery, pwede ako mag-chemo. Kasi yung chemo, gamot lang naman yun eh. You can buy it anywhere, di ba? So,
Okay.
I can do the chemo as long as I have the training, di ba? Pero yung
Okay.
radiation, kasi may machine yon, no? I cannot afford to have a machine on my own, no? So, meron train doon. Kaya merong special group of specialists on that, radiation oncologists ang gumagawa noon, no? Okay. So hindi namin pwedeng pakialaman yun kasi number one, wala kaming equipment, wala kaming investment doon, di ba? Ganon. So, but for chemo, since chemo is everywhere, pwedeng i-prescribe ko lang, pwede kong i-prescribe kahit na hindi ako medical oncologist, no? Pwede kong i-prescribe, pwede kong ibigay, no, sa hospital. Walang problema kasi we don't need the machine, di ba? Okay.
I see.
Yung nuclear medicine kasi ganun din. May special, yung gamot na radioactive iodine na ibibigay sa iyo, meron lang, dalawa lang pwede mag-prescribe noon eh. Endocrinologist saka yung nuclear medicine. Sila lang authorized by the government to prescribe that. Na? So ako, I cannot prescribe that. Na?
Ano yun?
Kaya hindi kita, I mean, I cannot treat you with RAI. No?
Dami kala.
Sinong
So,
nagsabi?
anyway,
Ano mo yan?
Baby.
Meron.
Baby.
mute.
Baby Spiritu, mute. Okay. So we're left with head and neck. Ako, general surgeon, ENT, and endo. So ang
Okay.
history ko, yung endo ang tumitingin sa iyo, no? For the past of,
Okay. Yes.
as I said, ako pwede, no? I can
Okay.
treat your thyroid cancer, no? Kasi ako, I'm not the type na ipapasa kita sa isang other doctors, no? I usually treat you completely up to the end, no? Okay. Most of the time, yung mga ENT, when they do thyroid operation for cancer, yon, pinapasa nila sa endo. Endo na bahala sa ito. No? Ako hindi, no? Okay. So that's what I
Okay.
meant by you have to choose a doctor who will do the comprehensive management. So kung kakayanin niya, no? Okay? Comprehensive. Kung kakayanin niya, mas maganda. Para walang, kumisan may kanya-kanya, may conflict of yung mga decisions sa mga different specialists, iba-iba, no? Maguguluhan ka.
Yes. I think that's good.
Now, in short, you can always rely on me for your thyroid cancer also. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Any more? Okay. Yung,
Bali, hindi naman ako magtatanong.
sige.
Bali, Doc, parang iniisip, parang maswerte pala yung you're allowed to do and to yun, restricted.
Chappy, hindi
Ka
kita,
na lang ngayon.
Mayan, hindi kita,
Doc, bali, I was na during that time, maswerte kasi you do those how to do and learn those things. Unlike ngayon, restricted na lahat. Nakapokus na lang sila sa isang
yeah. Pero may pros and cons din, no? Kung yung doktor na magaling na lahat, mas maganda siya na lang, di ba? Kung kakayanin niya, no?
Opo.
Kasi sa ngayon,
Parang ikaw po.
ang dami nag-subspecialization, tapos pasahan na lang eh. Kung minsan nagkakagulo eh, di ba? Sa kanya-kanyang diskarte. Kaya ang nagsasuffer dyan yung pasyente, no? Guguluhan, no?
Opo. Opo. Thank you po.
Okay. So do you know that ang history puro history to, no? Ang oncologist kasi yung sinabi ko tatlong oncologists yan, medical, surgical, and radiation, na oncologist. Ang unang nag-popularize ng oncologist ay yung mga medical onco, no? They call themselves medical oncologists. Kaya yung sa general surgeon who are also surgical oncologists, they don't call themselves surgical oncologists initially, no? Okay, they call themselves general and cancer surgeon, no? Okay. In the past, let's say 20, 30 years ago, even up now, when you say oncologist, ang perception ng mga lay people, these are yung mga medical onco. Correct? Tama ba yung aking sinasabi? Pag may narinig ka oncologist, ang unang papasok sa iyo, medical onco. Kasi ginagamit nila yung term na medical onco, yung title nila, di ba? Onco, no? So to the point na ang perception ng mga tao, ang medical oncologist ang cancer specialist, no? So which is partly correct, okay? So pero hindi lang sila ang cancer specialist, no? Okay. So meron pa ring surgeon na surgical oncologist, no? Okay. So yung surgical oncologist na pangalan hindi masyadong popular, no? Okay. It's just now that a little popular now pero hindi pa masyado, no? Kaya ang pinaka-popular pa rin yung medical oncologist, no? Okay. Okay. So with this lecture, I hope I can enlighten everybody on the different types of oncologists, no? Okay. Okay. Any more?
Yes.
Any more?
Doc, may question ako uli. Yung chemo ba, Doc, pwede bang gawin sa leeg o bawal?
Sa leeg?
Oo, bawal ba yun?
Ilalagay sa leeg?
Oo, bawal.
Chemo.
Tanong ko lang.
Doon,
Kasi braso kasi ako lahat nun eh.
pwedeng itaan leeg.
Oo. Allowed ba yun po, Doc?
Kung idadaan, hindi kasi yung kumisa baka hindi ka mahanapan ng line ng IV line, no, yung swero, no? So nilalagay ka hindi lang sa leeg, dito sa may dibdib, dito may sa portacat, tinatawag na portacat, no? Ba sa iyo?
Hindi,
No?
hindi pa kasi ako, Doc, nakakita nun. Nakita ko yung sinasabi mo yung portakat na yun. Tsaka yung sa braso kasi ginawa na sa akin. Pero yung leeg, parang wala pa ako nakakitang ganun eh.
Sa leeg, pwede nilagay ng internal jugular vein na catheter doon. Kung wala na talagang makitang ugat, no? Okay, kasi every 3 weeks sinasaksak ka ng yung chemo,
Opo nga. Sakit.
nahirapan sila maghanap ng ugat. So nilalagay na lang yung isang portacat na gano'n. Sa leeg naman, yung internal jugular vein, no? Gano'n, ng catheter, no? Pero temporary lang yan sa leeg, no? Okay. Okay?
Okay po. Thank you po, Doc.
May I ask again one thing, Doc? I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't
Okay.
ask as many as you want.
Sige, Doc. Are there oncologists who prescribe natural medicine?
That's why they categorize themselves as naturopathic oncologists. They can call themselves alternative medicine oncologists, no?
No.
So but yung mga traditional, let's say, medical oncologists, no? Kung naniniwala sila doon sa alternative medicine, they can, kasi gamot lang din naman yon, no? They can also prescribe it, no?
So instead of chemo, they will prescribe that. Okay lang yon.
Ang tanong mo kasi is kung may cancer, ang decision point dito, which will be the better treatment, no? Is it chemo or non-chemo alternative,
Yeah.
no?
Yeah. Oo.
Kung na pinuntahan mo na
Wala,
oncology,
wala pa akong pinuntahan, no? Pero may mga friend ako na gano'n na,
yeah. Marami nga,
Mm.
itong lecture na ito is to enlighten everybody, no? Kaya gusto ko,
Yeah.
maraming tanong para ano, kasi may mga doktor na nagbibigay lang ng mga ozone therapy, yung mga MX3,
Kaya yung
gano'n, mga alternative medicine, di ba? May mga doktor,
Oo.
so they kung saan they ride on the popularity or ano, baka ano, baka they give them the benefit of the doubt, baka naniniwala sila na mas maganda yon kaysa yung Western medicine like chemotherapy.
Mm.
No, no. If they believe on that, no, then they will prescribe you that, no. Okay. But if you go to
Mm.
another oncologist, no, kung sinabi niya, hindi ako naniniwala diyan sa alternative medicine, sa akin mas
Mm.
effective yung standard na Western medicine like chemo, surgery, radiation, yan ang ipiprescribe sa iyo, no? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
it
see.
depends on whom you're going to see, whom you're going to trust, no? Kaya ito yung sa lecture ko kanina, may mga question guides ako sa inyo, di ba? Okay.
Mm.
Anong experience ng doktor, ano yung mga track records niya, ganon.
Yeah.
So it all depends, no? But yung iba, I know for a lot of patients who ayaw nila magpa-chemo, ayaw nila magpa-opera, nagpupunta muna sila sa natural medicine specialists who call themselves oncologists also, no? Okay. So, but we've also seen a lot of patients who went through those non-standard, yung non-conventional treatment. Pagpunta sa amin, malaking-malaki na, wala na akong magawa, na gano'n. No?
Mm. Okay. Thank you, Doc.
Okay.
Doc, last question po, sorry ah.
Okay lang, as many as you want, kasi importante itong lecture nito eh. No?
Doc, ano po yung which one is more effective? Yung oral chemo o yung ginawa sa akin, yung tinutusok?
Number one, depende sa studies, no? The track records. May mga oral na tablet na mas magaling kaysa yung injectables, no? Okay. Pero in general, mas maganda pa rin yung parenteral, mas mabilis yung action, no? Okay. So in general, may exception to the rule, no? Okay. So a lot of times it depends on number one, yung type of cancer that you have. Number two, yung tolerance mo to the gamot, whether IV or tablet, no? Number three, yung cost din or availability.
Okay po.
No? Okay?
Opo. Thank you po, Doc.
Okay. Any more? So yung aking anak, Lance, would you like to say some last comment?
Wala naman, parang very complete na yung discussion and yung lecture kanina. Ayun, totoo talaga yung isang comment kanina, hindi na kami nakapag-hysterectomy tulad ng mga na-train before kasi nga nasa OB na yun. Pero okay lang naman kasi sa ngayon parang hindi na rin pwede gawin yun ng mga general surgery dahil nga sa parang kinuha na ng OB yung mga ganun cases.
Okay. 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 No more questions? So, ang oncologist, no, strictly speaking, dalawa lang pipiliin ninyo, no? Medical or surgical. Yung radiation usually on the side siya. Pangatlo lang sila eh. Kung in terms of yung standing, no? Ang pagpipilian is medical or surgical, no? Okay. Now, yung pag blood cancer, automatic na yan. Huwag kayo pupunta sa surgery. Okay? Kasi hindi ino-opera ng mga blood cancer yung mga by surgery, di ba? So, medical oncologist or yung mga hematologic oncologist, mga gamot or pediatric oncologist, wag yung surgeon, okay? But for the solid cancer, yung mga solid means mga bukol-bukol talaga, no? Majority will be papasok muna yung surgeon, mauna yung surgeon, no? Okay. So pag pumunta kayo sa surgeon, i-guide na kayo kung kaya ba operahan o hindi o kaya ibabiopsy muna. Kasi kung pupunta muna kayo sa medical onco, kung may surgical onco naman, no? I-refer din kayo sa surgical onco for treatment, no? Okay. So, kumisan, to save yung mga inconvenience, not to say gastos, di ba? Kasi consultation din yon, no? Okay. So you can go direct to the surgeon muna, no? Okay, yan ang priority, no? Surgical oncologist muna, and then let him or her decide what to do next, no? Okay. For example, pag may tinatawag na nasopharyngeal cancer, no? Ang gamutan yon hindi talagang surgeon. Pero head and neck surgeon pa rin ang unang magbabiopsy noon eh, no? Okay. After that, i-decide ng surgeon kung pupunta ka sa radiation oncologist or sa medical onco, no? So hindi no-opera niyan pero ibabiopsy yon, no? So head and neck surgeon pa rin magbabiopsy noon, hindi yung medical onco, hindi yung radiation oncologist. Okay? So I hope yan ang simplest guideline. Basta blood, punta kayo sa hema, medical onco, pediatric hema, adult hema, no? The rest solid, usually go to the surgeon oncologist first. No? Okay. Then after that, let the surgical oncologist decide kung papapunta ka sa medical onco or not. O kumisan radiation oncologist. Okay? Okay? Ano pa? Okay. Yun lang. Baka may nakalimutan pa ako. No? I just want to emphasize that. No? So if there are no more questions, wala nang ibang tanong. We will reinforce this lecture next week focusing on surgical onco. Surgical onco naman. No? Maraming klaseng surgical onco kasi, di ba? So, yan ang pag-uusapan natin, no? Next week, no? Okay? So, if there are no more questions, let's call it a day, no? So, I hope enjoy kayo ng bakasyon ninyo. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you
po,
po, Dr.
Doc.
Ray. Happy weekend.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po.